Traveling to the United States has always involved scrutiny, but recently it has intensified, especially for Canadians. The increased scrutiny is not just about checking passports and visas anymore. New U.S. Customs and Border Protection policies allow officers to search electronic devices without a warrant. This means that your phone, laptop, or tablet could be subject to inspection at any time. This means private conversations, financial information, and more could be accessed by U.S. authorities. Your personal and professional life could be laid bare. Imagine being a journalist with sensitive material or a lawyer with confidential client information. The implications are profound. Or a lawyer with confidential client information, the potential for breaches of privacy and confidentiality is significant. Many Canadians feel their privacy is being violated, leading to increased anxiety about traveling south. The fear of having personal data exposed is real and palpable. CBP officers don't need reasonable suspicion to search your device. This lack of requirement for probable cause is alarming to many. Even a simple browse through your photos or social media could raise red flags. Innocent images or posts could be misinterpreted. Numerous reports exist of travelers being detained for hours based on innocuous information found on their phones. The experience can be both frustrating and humiliating. This intrusive approach has left many Canadians questioning whether traveling to the U.S. is worth the risk. The balance between security and privacy is being hotly debated. In response, Canadian immigration lawyers advise travelers to use burner phones when traveling to the U.S. This advice comes as a response to increasing concerns about privacy and data security at border crossings. A burner phone is a prepaid mobile phone used anonymously without linking to personal information. It can be easily disposed of after use, ensuring that no personal data is left behind. This creates a barrier between personal data and U.S. authorities, reducing privacy risks. By using a burner phone, travelers can keep their sensitive information secure and out of reach. Legal experts argue that current policies are overly broad and give CBP officers too much discretion. This has led to numerous instances where personal data has been accessed without proper justification. Using a burner phone is a necessary precaution, especially for frequent travelers or those with sensitive information. It provides an extra layer of security that can be crucial in protecting one's privacy. It's also about safeguarding personal information from potential data breaches. In an age where data breaches are becoming increasingly common, taking such precautions is more important than ever. The burner phone, once associated with clandestine activities, is now a practical tool for protecting privacy. It has become an essential item for those who prioritize their digital security while traveling. The consequences of carrying your personal phone across the U.S. border are real. A French researcher was denied entry after CBP officers found messages critical of President Trump. A Canadian citizen was detained for hours after officers found a photo of a friend with a legally owned firearm. These incidents highlight the arbitrary nature of these searches and the potential for abuse. Even citizens of allied nations are not immune, raising serious questions about U.S.-Canada relations. What you carry on your phone can have real-world consequences when traveling to the U.S. The legal basis for CBP's broad search powers stems from their authority to protect the border. CBP can conduct basic searches without suspicion and detain devices for forensic searches. These searches can take days or weeks, leaving travelers without access to their devices. Civil liberties groups argue these searches violate privacy rights and the Fourth Amendment. Legal challenges have faced an uphill battle, as courts generally uphold CBP's authority. This underscores the importance of taking proactive measures, like using burner phones, to mitigate risks. The increased scrutiny at the U.S. border has strained U.S.-Canada relations, creating a palpable tension that can be felt by travelers and officials alike. This heightened vigilance has led to longer wait times and more rigorous checks, causing frustration and anxiety among those crossing the border. The Trump administration's policies have been met with disapproval from Canadian officials and citizens. Protests have erupted, with placards and chants expressing a clear message of discontent. Canadian leaders have voiced their concerns in press conferences, emphasizing the need for a more cooperative approach. Reduced Canadian tourism to the U.S. has had a significant economic impact. Once bustling tourist destinations now stand eerily empty with closed attractions and deserted streets. Hotels that once thrived on Canadian visitors are now struggling to stay afloat, and the decline in tourism is clearly visible in economic graphs. Business owners and local officials are deeply concerned about the economy and urge the U.S. government to reconsider its policies. Meetings are held to discuss the dire economic issues, with charts and data highlighting the negative trends. Empty storefronts and struggling businesses paint a grim picture of the current economic climate. The issue of U.S.-Canada relations is a focal point in the upcoming Canadian federal election. Candidates are making it a central theme in their campaigns, speaking passionately on stage and during debates. Political rallies are filled with discussions on how to navigate this complex relationship moving forward. Opposition parties criticize the current government's handling of the situation and pledge a tougher stance. They argue that a stronger approach is needed to protect Canadian interests and ensure a fair and respectful relationship with the U.S. Debates in Parliament and public protests reflect the urgency of this issue. Canadians face an increasingly complex environment when it comes to traveling to the U.S., and the decision to travel should be made with full awareness of the potential risks. Travelers are seen meticulously checking their documents and expressing concern over the uncertainties they might face. The landscape of cross-border travel has undeniably changed, requiring careful consideration and preparation.